Big open-world games have a unique opportunity not afforded to titles that are smaller in scope. The number of moving parts allow developers to miss with one or two and still create an incredible experience. The key is to create mechanics fun and engaging enough to drown out the weaker ones. Does Horizon Forbidden West fall directly into this category?
Good enough for me.
Or are these mechanics and ideas better left off extinct? Find out in our review. Hey folks, if you enjoy this review, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, notification button. It's 3 small clicks for you, but means the world to us. Let's get started. Horizon Forbidden West is a post-apocalyptic open-world game that continues Aloy's journey, a huntress of the Nora tribe. Aloy earned the title of Brave by completing the Proving in Horizon Zero Dawn, a tournament held to test the skills of Nora adolescents. The events of the Proving became the catalyst for the story of Horizon Zero Dawn, with the High Matriarchs of the Nora tribe declaring Aloy a seeker, someone who is allowed to explore beyond the borders of Nora land. That exploration and the events that unfolded made up the entirety of Horizon Zero Dawn. So we'll stop there to avoid spoilers. Thankfully, Guerrilla Games has provided a handy recap tucked into the extras menu before Horizon Forbidden West begins, so even those who didn't partake in Aloy's initial adventures can get caught up in short order.
By the Forge. Petra? Aloy, what are you doing here?
Horizon Forbidden West begins with Aloy searching for Gaia, a powerful AI that was responsible for the governance of the Zero Dawn project that predates any events found in the games. This project was a terraforming system that was designed to restore life on Earth after rogue machines began eating biological matter. When things went sideways, massive understatement, Gaia sacrificed herself for humanity. Now, Aloy and her allies must search for Gaia to stop a blight that is threatening humanity. If that sounds like a lot for one person, it is. And Aloy's personal journey, running parallel to the overarching narrative, includes grappling with that weight and the lofty expectations she puts on herself simultaneously.
Hold on there, Red. If you're gonna go chasing across the Daunt, you're gonna want a tripcaster.
Once players set foot in the world, those that played Horizon Zero Dawn will feel a familiar gameplay loop in Horizon Forbidden West. This is not a reset of systems, but rather an evolution. Aloy can still hide in tall grass to evade enemies, or confront them head-on with her spear. But both combat and exploration take steps forward thanks to gadgets like the diving mask or glider wing, and weapons like the spike thrower and shredder gauntlet. These additions are each a success, delivering a fantastic experience that persists through the entirety of Horizon Forbidden West.
Lancers! Form up!
The greatest strength of Horizon Forbidden West is its gameplay, from the new gadgets that make exploration and combat more unique, to the skill tree expansion and introduction of Valor Surges. I was heavily invested in hunting down machines for parts to upgrade my gear or skill points to unlock new abilities. The more I experimented, the more I realized that Horizon Forbidden West had considerable depth to its combat. At first, it feels like you're just whacking machines with a stick until they topple, but soon you're chaining your attacks together and overwhelming your foes with speed and damage. It all starts with the skill tree that includes 6 branches: Warrior, Trapper, Hunter, Survivor, Infiltrator, and Machine Master. You can lean into one or two heavily, or split your skill points by picking and choosing bits and pieces of each. If you invest in the right skills in a specific branch, you'll unlock a Valor Surge that reflects that branch's theme. Being a stealth player who enjoys the Hunter Bow and Spike Thrower, I dug into Hunter and Infiltrator. My go-to Valor Surge was called Stealth Stalker, allowing me to cloak and navigate tricky areas without being seen. These Valor Surges can be swapped in and out as required, so I'd swap the Stealth Stalker for something more combat-focused ahead of boss fights. This is how Horizon Forbidden West builds a satisfying gameplay loop. As you learn how different weapons and skills can be effective against various machines, you begin chasing those items. Anytime I saw a vendor who sells weapons, I was dropping everything to browse their stock. When I found an item I wanted, I'd either buy it or create a job, a self-created quest to locate needed resources, to find the parts to buy it. This pushed me into the world to get those components, and along the path I inevitably discovered a cauldron to clear, relic ruins to explore, or a tall neck to climb. I'd run into new machines that pose different challenges, encouraging me to unlock new skills and buy new gear. It's a rewarding cycle that never felt like a grind. But the one thing I always wanted was a way to reset the skill tree. If it's in the game, I haven't found it, and there's certainly some skills I'd pass on in favor of others a second time around.
Another one down!
Now this is what I was forced for.
This core gameplay loop is reinforced by some nifty additions, like Food Boost, obtained by purchasing meals from chefs found in various settlements throughout the world, or environmental traps capable of dealing big damage to foes. Most of these can be ignored on lower difficulties if you just want to hit the big machine with a big stick, but the payoff is fantastic if you properly prepare for a fight and execute your strategy. Where I'm hot and cold with Horizon Forbidden West is its narrative. I was heavily invested in the main story of Aloy's internal struggles. It was rewarding to watch her grow with the help of friends, though seeing Aloy struggle to live up to expectations she created for herself was at times difficult. Many will relate to the way she puts personal well-being and growth aside because there are more important matters at hand. Many of us ignore our own needs for what we perceive as the greater good. And in Aloy's case, the greater good is the survival of humanity. Point to Aloy.
Hey, Varl.
Hi, Aaron.
What's happening?
You know, the usual. Aloy wants something. People trying to stand in her way. It's not gonna work.
That's it. Arrest her.
I'd like to see you try.
Where I fell off my narrative interest was with the random quest givers in the world. I thought Aloy's immediate group of friends and allies all had interesting motives and asks, but once you get into the random population and tribes, the motive is mostly pure survival. Look, it's as primal as it gets. It's literally the core motive of every species that ever existed. It's also not very interesting from one character to the next. In Horizon Forbidden West, I played the main story missions because they were interesting, but I completed side quests for skill points and gear. The redeeming detail is that side quests include combat with machines composed of components you want. They reward skill points that further your build and reward XP to level up. The tasks themselves are often interesting, I just didn't really care about most of the characters asking for help.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me.
My hope is that everyone gets a chance to play Horizon Forbidden West on PS5 with a 4K display. Guerrilla Games has created a breathtaking world. Whether it's a quiet moment looking at a clear night sky, or a trek through snowy mountains, Horizon Forbidden West is a shining example of what the PS5 can accomplish with graphics, not unlike Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart last year. My experience was smoother when I set to performance mode, which increased a higher frame rate, instead of resolution mode, which was basically just constant resolution. So take note in case that setting matters to you. I didn't notice dips in resolution when I was set on performance mode. The one visual downfall of Horizon Forbidden West is that it does not include a colorblind setting, which is a major oversight for a game that uses color to differentiate between components on machines that can be individually targeted. It's perplexing given the effort put into accessibility, as Horizon Forbidden West includes custom difficulty options, co-pilot mode, button mapping, and settings to tweak the experience to very specific needs. I don't know how many times I didn't target a component vulnerable to chain reaction because I couldn't tell which part it was. I would often opt for tear damage on larger components I could see. Some of this was alleviated with combat experience, but colorblind options are needed here. Being colorblind meant that I often had to get very close to machines to differentiate their components. But there was a silver lining to this. The closer I was to the machines, the more I found myself admiring the subtle beeps and boops sounds they make as they go about their business. It almost gives a peaceful personality to machines that can turn violent in an instant. It's also helpful to hear the telltale sounds over the crest of a hill, giving you an advantage over what lies ahead. Horizon Forbidden West does a masterful job with its sound across the board, including wonderful performances by its actors. Ashley Birch is fantastic, but so is the supporting cast that includes Angela Bassett, Lance Reddick, Carrie-Anne Moss, Noshil Dalla, and more. Their performances are backed up by music that complements gameplay, building tension as you explore a cauldron, only to fade after you defeat its boss. It's not a new mechanic by any means. but I still love how tense music fades when the battle is over, letting you know that you can exhale. Horizon Forbidden West is an ambitious game that builds off the strength of its predecessor in almost every way. The world is a more interesting place to spend time, the combat has evolved, and the visuals have taken leaps that exceed my expectations, even with the generation jump in hardware. It's a shame that outside of the core cast, there is a depth lacking for most of the characters, and leaving colorblind options out of a game that uses color in its mechanics is a miss on an otherwise great accessibility options. What I can't let go of though, is just how good Horizon Forbidden West is everywhere else. I need to find all the weapons, I must unlock all the skills, I've got to know what's in those relic ruins, or solve the puzzle and defeat the boss in the cauldron. Horizon Forbidden West is absurdly good in so many ways, that it borders on a must-play for open world aficionados. Hey folks, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, notification button. It's 3 small clicks for you, but means the world to us. For more video reviews and everything else gaming related, you're already in the right place. You're on Shacknews.com.